Hi and welcome to Blender Clinic. Today I want to talk to you about mirroring your weights. So it's one of these things that should be easy to do, but unfortunately it's hard to Google because weight and symmetrize and symmetry, these are terms which are used throughout Blender and throughout 3D software generally. And so, finding specifically what you want can be quite difficult. So imagine if you will, that you've got, a rigged, you've rigged one half of the body, and you want what you've done, all the work you've done, all the tidy up and clean up work on the weight paints you've done on one side of the body, you want it flipped over to the other side of the body. Well, here this is all working nicely, but let's just sorry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this and do something that this happens to me all the time. I always forget Symmetrize does not preserve weight groups or weight painting. So maybe I go in and I say Symmetrize. And there we go. It's knackered one half of my model. So it's now made all of one side the same as the other. And that includes the weights, and that's not what I wanted, so now I need to fix it. Now what you could do is split it in two, use a mirror modifier, but unfortunately if you've got shape keys, that becomes a very lengthy process if you want to save those shape keys, and it doesn't always work, and that's kind of why I'm doing this. So in 6 months I can look at this video myself and go, oh, past me was very clever. Anyway, that's a lot of waffle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just delete half of the weight. So I'm just going to go in, use box select with the X-ray turned on so I can make sure I've selected an entire half of the body. And I'll go in to my vertex group menu and I'll remove in edit mode, remove from all groups. So now we've got one half with no weights and one half with the correct weights. And what we can do now is go into weight paint mode. I'm going to inverse my selection now, so it's on the other side. And I can go to weights, mirror weights, flip group names, tick all groups. And it's the wrong way around. So let's undo that. And again, I've flipped the selection back to the other side now. Mirror weights, flip group names, all groups. I don't think we need topology mirror. There we go. That's going to knacker it. And it's done. It's there and it's fixed and it's back to its former glory, and everything is working as should. If you are working with weight paints, something I'd recommend picking up, because I actually didn't realize you could do this in vanilla Blender. But I was doing this through an add-on I use called Weight Paint Tools by Bart. I'm just going to say Bart because I wouldn't stand a chance of getting the rest of his name right, and I wouldn't want to upset him. Anyway, it's $18 for individuals. It's on Gumroad. It's called Weight Paint Tools, and it really, really helps when you're trying to, fix weight painting issues. So if I were to enable it, you get this, basically, if you go into, select your rig, select your mesh, go to weight paint, and we can hit Control X, which is the worst key combination, because if you're in the wrong mode, it just deletes whatever's selected. Ugh. But, you could change that if you want to. Anyway, it brings up this pie menu with all these useful tools, and we've got that mirror weights option right here, and you've got further more complex options like mirror project weights and so on, and it's great for fixing little issues. Like, for instance, imagine you got, the main usage for it, actually, and by the way, I'm not sponsored by Bart. I just love this tool, and I realized I haven't really spoken about it. And this tutorial was going to be on how to fix the weighting issue with this tool, until I realized actually you could do it with vanilla Blender. But that's how long I've been using this for. I'm so sort of, I'm in its mindset. There we go. It basically allows you in weight paint mode to select verts. So I can, with the right mouse button, I can go around selecting verts, Alt right to select loops, Shift Alt right to, you know, to continue that selection. You can grow the selection exactly as you would be able to in edit mode, but you get to do this in weight paint mode, so you don't have to keep flipping in and out. You just make your, you know, you make your selections there and then. Well, that's weird. It wouldn't let me select that wrong. There we go. Got it. And then also using Control right click, you can then select the bones. In this way, this way it generally just really speeds up how we work with weights. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to break my rig a little bit. So I've selected that bone, I've selected that vert. I'm going to hit Control X. I'm going to set a weight to 1 and hit return. Oh no, we've got this broken vert, and it's going to be ruining our rig throughout, and it could be quite difficult to find out what, you know, obviously I know what bone it's weighted to, but it could be quite difficult finding the issue. I mean, obviously you could just go to here and look it up on this table and figure out what the vertex, you know, which outlying weight it is. But what's easier is to go Control X, override from adjacent, and it'll look at the averages of the weights around it. And if you've got quite a few of these spikes, it still works really well. Genuinely, this tool is just, it's such a great tool to have if you do a lot of weight painting, so I recommend it. But yeah, and as I said, you can do the mirror weights thing. You can do here as well, and it's a bit cleaner and a bit quicker. So there we go. That's how we do. That's how we fix mirroring for your vertex weights. And as I said, this is something, even though I tackle this issue quite regularly, I'm bound to forget it. So this video is as much for my reference as it is for yours, but I hope it helps you. And yeah, if you've got any questions, stick them in the comments.